Oh man.
We are live.
Yes.
Not dead.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are y'all doing? Hi. Yes.
That was scary.
Oh man. This is the real gospel talk with the Katzes, Judy and Captain J. So I guess wait, you're Captain J and you're Judy today?
Yeah, we reversed it.
I'm Orlando Presents, aka Joe. I need to start putting that up there. If you know, you know. But man, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all take over because y'all came up with the topic and everything, which is a very interesting topic. So I want to see how you all want to start off with this topic. So go ahead.
I'll let Judy start with it since he came up with it. Well,
Okay.
Well, yeah, it started with um I was praying about like we feel like we got in our house a while ago, well back in December of 19, and so we both kind of felt recently that this the house has come to an end kind of thing where it's basically we're supposed to sell it. Okay. Last week we got a quote of what we could probably sell it for, which is more than we had expected.
and more than we had paid. So
As
that's a
is,
plus.
whereas, kind of deal. And I don't really want to. I have a hard time selling it because it's completely 100% wheelchair accessible. Finding wheelchair accessible housing is hard, and so have a wheelchair accessible house, we always said it was a blessing because of the timing that it came right before the pandemic, and the price, our whole entire mortgage, everything includes like $500. It's mortgage, taxes, insurance, whole 9 yards. So you can't rent was going before pre-pandemic was $600 to $1,000. Post-pandemic, they're like 900 is the starting and up, So to us, it's a blessing, and
Right.
so with having to sell it, I'm like, Lord, you gave us this blessing. Are we really supposed to sell it, or is this just us thinking because we don't know what's next? Is it us putting our thoughts in and this, that, and the other? And I, he's like, sell it, and I said, like now, with nothing in the works, He's like, in spring, kind of thing. So okay. And so anyway, moral of the story was he's like, keeping this house is like essentially like turning away from me. Because I have a path for you to go down. And if you choose to keep this house, you're turning back. You're going backwards.
You can't see the finish line.
You're turning away from where I want you to go.
Hmm.
And if God doesn't bless it, is it really a blessing anymore? If we're choosing to stay where He's asked us to leave from, He's not going to necessarily provide us with the income to pay for that mortgage, to pay for the upkeep on the house, to maintain what we need to maintain, And I'm not saying I'm 100% sure that we're supposed to sell it. We're still praying on it because let's face it, I want to give up the house.
Right. Right.
But at the same point, I may need to, it may not be a blessing anymore if we don't give it up.
I'm gonna stop you there, but I'm gonna let you continue. But I'm gonna say what you usually say. You're playing in my backyard now. So go ahead, because I definitely now I get exactly what you mean by what the topic and everything. So yeah, you're definitely playing in my backyard. So go ahead.
So and it's just one of those things where it's like I actually thought this morning when things like it's so 100% wheelchair accessible. I hate to give it up. And prior to that, a week or so ago, we were talking about it, and God's like, I've got bigger and better things for you. It's like, if you hold on to this, I can't provide you those other things. You need to step out of this and step forward. Don't you think I have better for you? You know, because we kind of looked at the house, and you know, the back by the back door is the floor starting to fall in, just a little bit. It's literally just a little bit. It's just a small section, and stuff like that. But it's gonna need.
I'll show you when you come
It's
visit.
gonna need.
Step right there.
No, we're not gonna tell you to step right there. We're gonna tell you where not to step.
I didn't say that's what I meant. Don't step there.
But it can use some updating, but it also can need some needs work. You know, just for safety purposes, needs work. And it's like, if we don't have the money to fix it, you know, and I said, should we fix it then? Because as is where is, we can still, you know, walk away with almost 10,000 after everything is said and done. But part of me says, okay, so, you know, if we fix this, he's like, fix it how you'd fix it if you were living, how you'd fix it if you're living there. You know, do the same things that we would do if we were living there, in the same order, the same whatever, you know.
Right.
Continue. And so I'm not 100% sure that we're supposed to sell it, because he's done it before. It's like, are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give this up if I asked you to? And then the last minute, he's like, it's yours. You know what I mean?
Huh.
It's almost like a test of, are you willing to continue and follow and give up something that you see is valuable, and that where, and then be like, okay, so, but I tell you to give it away or to sell it or give it away. Are you willing to do that? And we make the effort to do that. The person says nope, and then he's like, it's yours. You know what I mean?
Right.
You keep it. It was like a test of, not loyalty. That's not the test.
Obedience.
Obedience.
Well,
Do you trust me?
also that goes back to what you said, you know, from the beginning when you all were packing up and stuff and you're ready to move down to Iowa. You were saying that, you know, God was telling y'all to become minimalistic, you know, to start really living off of, you know, fewer things and everything.
Yeah.
So if you were to keep the house and still traveling and, you know, for work and things of that nature, isn't that still holding on to more than what you actually would need?
Well, yeah, and it's like, I don't, because when you come from from being in a homeless position, and not having a roof of your own or even an apartment of your own and stuff like that, couch surfing. I mean, we never were out under a tree, and other people have been. So I don't want to minimize the homelessness.
He's always provided a roof over our head.
Right, but when you come from that fear of almost being under that tree, you know what I mean? And just, we have a house we can afford to hold on to. So why would we not hold on to it? And it's because we have to trust God to provide for us.
Exactly.
And so it's one of those things, it's an act of disobedience to hold on to the house.
If that's exactly what you're feeling, that the voice or that what you're hearing is actually, you know, is God telling you to let it go. If that's the case, then yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think it is, because we're there, and it's like we're cleaning. Things have gotten cleaned up a lot and stuff like that. Kitchen and back room are good. Living room still needs to be fairly clean. Bathroom's been fairly clean and things like that. But it's one of those things where it's like, again, I like the house. To me, it tells a story of
The walk with Christ.
Yeah, the walk with God. I mean, he comes into our mess. You know what I mean? He comes into
Well,
our life, and the house looks great on the outside. You may look well put together, but you go in the front door and you see that the frame's broken for the front door. You see that there's a hole in the wall. You see that there's a hole in the door from where it got bashed in by a ram from, in this case, because it had been a drug house, and things like that. And so, and then as we go in and we purchase it and then we start renovating. It's like Jesus moves in and starts renovating. I'm not Jesus by any way, shape, or form, but it's just an analogy. As we walk with Jesus and things, and we do as we're supposed to do, that gets renovated. Our insides get renovated. We may have used to lie a lot. Well, no, we can't stand to lie. We have to tell the truth. We used to manipulate people, and now it's like we can't tolerate that anymore. You know what I mean? That kind of, or try to manipulate people. You can't manipulate people if they're not willing, but we attempt to manipulate situations and people a lot. So, and that's what I mean is he moves in and he does the fixes in the house as as you journey through and stuff like that. And so I don't know. I'm kind of on a rant. So
you're good. You got.
I mean, it's a thing of missing. It's a thing of missing what you had, especially when you feel an attachment to it and you've been there for so long. And like you say, you feel that God blessed y'all with this house in the time that you were really on rocky roads. And that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
He did bless you with the house, but now where you all stand now, I see it and feel it that he's trying to bless you even more.
Mhm.
Not only bless you, but bless others through you.
Mhm.
Because if you turn around and you're still doing, you're working at the hospital, different things of that nature, and you're on assignment and stuff, and you end up selling the house, that brings in, more for you to be able to sustain the life that you have, and then also continue to go out and do other ministries
Mhm.
that you all have been doing.
Mhm.
I think the giving up of the house isn't so much of him trying to hurt you, but he's trying to enrich your life through you all helping others.
Mm-hmm.
But of course it's gonna have some moments that you're feeling torn about it because you put a lot into it. But then also we can put it together and say, okay, didn't God put a lot into Jesus, his son, and he put him on the cross, and he had to die on the cross for us in
Uh-huh.
order, for us to be able to be saved and things of that nature or whatever. So that hurt him as much as well.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, like I had said, when he first told me to put the house up for sale, like, but this was a blessing. You said we're supposed to have this. How are we going to keep? How do we? Why did you work so hard for us to get us to do this? For us to get rid of it. And then we have our other 3 vehicles that we have,
Mhm.
and he's like, those are gone too for whatever. So it's like he's wiping the slate clean. He's like, minimalistic means minimalistic, and like we go back to the house, but there's so much stuff here. We've cleared a bunch of stuff out. I mean, we've got rid of a lot of old baggage,
Mhm.
that we didn't need, and that's kind of like with the analogy that God comes in, into your life. He comes inside and cleans the old baggage out.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what do we know? We're just clearing stuff out. Like we're at the house and we come back to the apartment. I'm like, this feels so much more comfy. But 900 something square feet, something like that. 2 bedrooms, bath, and we have a room that's pretty much empty. And I'm like, this feels better than the house. I mean, we don't need that much stuff. I brought some stuff back every time we go because, like, ministry related, I need my external hard drive so I could do work with it. But besides that, I mean, we don't need a lot. And he's showing us that. So the house is the house. You're done with it. Move on. Like you said, I got bigger things for you. I'm not sure what that is yet. I mean, it might be a building somewhere. Might be a church. It might be, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. he's not gonna tell me yet. There's games like, hey, do this. Yeah, what's gonna be the turnout? Just gotta wait.
So this kind of fits, and I didn't do it. I wasn't planning to read this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is chapter 1 of the. This is part of chapter 1 of the book. It's an excerpt from the chapter 1. The journey of Jesus' hands and feet. When we were baptized and asked Jesus to move into ourselves, we oftentimes only give God access to a room in our house. He is not allowed to have access to the rest of the house, especially the locked secret room where our guilt and shame are stored. Only we and the devil have access to this room, and trust me, the devil takes full advantage of his free access. Most Christians operate this way until tragedy strikes, and then they scream and yell, "Where are you, Jesus?" Jesus was forced out a long time ago. Who stays in a house that we are not welcome in? Now that room is clean, swept, and put in order, but Jesus wants to clean out the rest of the house. In our pride and arrogance, we tell Jesus, "I've got this, thanks." Until that fateful day when our works blow up in our face and our life is a mess. We have the audacity to go to the room that we gave to Jesus, expecting him to be there. He is in spirit, but we find him gone. We didn't even know that he had left. We evicted him with our blind arrogance, independent thought, and self-serving actions. If we call his name, he will return because he is always right there waiting for us to come to our senses and open our eyes and ears to him. When you pray, "Jesus, use me," he moves in and takes over the house. He will clean out every room, including the guilt and shame room. In fact, he will start with that room by evicting the devil because it is the room in the most need of repair from the damage and neglect. He will rid the house from all of our clutter room by room, and proceed to strip it down to the studs. You thought that hurt? Just wait. In the words of Joyce Meyer, did you pray for God to use you as his hands and feet? Oh, honey, let me counsel you. Sometimes our house is in such bad shape, whether traumas, tragedies, abuse, addictions, or neglect, that Jesus needs to tear it down and pour a new foundation, and then begin rebuilding it from the ground up, brand new. Life as we know it will never be the same. He changes our name, locations, our identities, so to some people we are unrecognizable to who they thought we should be by the identity that once defined, should I say, confined us. I do not know what this house will look like until it is finished, but I do know that it will be unrecognizable from what it was before. It will not function the same or go back to what it used to be. Because Jesus has transformed us, how glorious the day will be when I see Jesus face to face and he says, "Well done, good and faithful servant."
Amen. Amen. Now that's it with reading from your book. People don't get it for free no more.
Nope.
They're gonna have to pay for that. They're gonna have to pay for that. When it's ready, y'all find out when the book is ready, because you ain't gonna get no free excerpts anymore. Man, just want to say shout out to all the folks that's watching, that's listening in, man. We really appreciate it, the support. This is the Real Gospel Talk, and this is actually a deep topic for real, man. Because I think a lot of people overstay their welcome, to say, overstay their blessings at times, because when God is ready for you to move on, sometimes you're so locked into a particular situation, to a particular spot, that it's hard for you to let go and move on and go somewhere else to another assignment that he wants you to go to. Um, because I know I went through that myself with my last job that I actually worked for someone. Um, man, I was there so long, and I know that God wanted me to leave that job a long time ago, but I kept feeling like, well, if I leave here, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna pay my bills, things of that nature, or whatever? I just can't. I don't have anything else lined up. So I kept staying there. And even working there, I worked through, like you said, sometimes when you stay somewhere too long,
Mhm.
or if you're disobedient to what God tells you to do, He may allow you to stay there, but it's rocky. It's hard for you to stay there. You
Mhm.
have to fight through a lot of things in order to stay there. And that's exactly what I went through working at my last job that I worked for somewhere. It was so difficult to stay working there, but mentally it was like, okay, what else am I going to do? There's nothing else I can really fall back on and do. So I put up with all the mess that I had to put up with for 10 years. 10
Wow.
years, put up with a lot of mess. And then, even though at the end of it, it wasn't due to me finally listening, I think it was due to God finally saying, you know what, I'm getting tired of you not listening to me. So yeah, I'm about to blow up your spot. and that's and that's exactly what that's exactly what ended up happening. I ended up getting fired from the job. So once I get fired from the job, trying to get unemployment or whatever, couldn't get unemployment. So I'm sitting there like, oh, so yeah, I'm really being punished for being disobedient.
Mhm.
I can't even get unemployment or anything. So I'm sitting there like, okay, wow, what am I gonna do? But the thing is, while I was still working at that job, that's when the cleaning company started materializing anyway towards the end. So I was working for them, and we were still doing cleaning on the sides. So once I got let go, it was like, okay, this is
Game
all I have,
on.
huh?
Game on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like this is all I have, so yeah, we got to make this work then. And I look at the fact that that was his plan all along. Cuz even when the manager or the director that fired me, he's the person that picks me up and takes me to church every Sunday. And he even said when he saw at first when he saw me myself and Robin, he was like, he's apologizing, talking about I really didn't want to fire you. I really didn't want to do it, but it was the best thing for you. And I
Mhm.
sat there and was like, what? He was in and I was and I the only thing I could tell him is, you know what? Don't worry about it. You're right. It was the best move. It was the best move. I mean, I kept holding on, holding on, holding on, but it was the best move to make.
Yeah.
Um, it's just the funny thing about it is though, even with working with Robin, that wasn't originally supposed to happen because when she came to that job, she filled out for a whole nother position. Whereas if she would have got that job, me and her wouldn't have been working together at all. I probably wouldn't have even seen her half the time.
Wow.
So, but she ended up not getting the position that she originally signed up for. And they asked me to interview her for the position for what I was doing, housekeeping, because I was the lead housekeeper. So they were like, well, you can interview her. You're the one that's going to be working with her. So if you want her, cool, we'll hire her. If not, we'll just try to find somebody else. And I interviewed her, talked to her. I was like, yeah, she seems cool, whatever. Yeah, go ahead, let's give it a try.
Yeah,
And lo and behold, look now. So that's what
that
I'm
worked
saying.
out pretty well. It worked out pretty well.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, 5 years, almost, I gotta say more than 5 years, about 6 years or so later, because she was working at that job for 5 years. I was there before I got let go, um 10 years. So it's been close to about eight, I would say about 8 years or so since we've known each other, but 5 years since we had the business, together. So it's like we fight so much a lot of times against, what God has for us. And we know we're supposed to make a certain move because we are holding on to self doubt. Not so much that I think we're doubting him, but we have so much built up negativity and self doubt within ourselves. Is hard to just let go and say, okay, yeah, God, I'm listening to you. That's the number one thing that we should be doing. But a lot of times it's just hard to do that because we want to be in control. And when we're not and we don't know what's around that corner, we start to freak out. Sometimes we start to freak out.
Mhm.
Like, oh my God. I mean, it's just like I still go through it now. Been in the business for 5 years and still go through the situation of, oh man, if we don't get these clients, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this bill or how are we gonna pay rent and stuff like that or whatever. Still having those weird conversations when it's like, dude, it's been 5 years. God is taking care of you. Why do you think he's gonna drop you off now and don't do what he said what he promised that he's gonna do?
Yep, yep.
You just be obedient and allow him. Now, like they said, he never said anything about, we won't have tough times
Mhm.
because we will. But are we still going to be obedient through those tough times?
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a storm, and how you handle it is what makes the difference. You know, this last 2 months. I mean, I've been out of work for 2 months. I'm like, what do I? I mean, I tried going back to Walmart. I'm like, I got this, Walmart. Guess not. Went to Lowe's. That's pretty easy. No, I don't know why I didn't qualify, but I didn't qualify for it. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, there's something else that he's got planned for me, but
He's shutting doors, but
You're doing it. I keep telling you. Go ahead, Judy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I know. Well, he just keeps.
I'm doing it.
He keeps shutting doors, and and he'll be opening doors. We just have to know that they're open and walk through them. And it's one of those things where it used to be that if you worked a job, not a 9 to 5, but a full-time position, whatever hours you worked, you were pretty much, as long as you showed up on time and you did your job, you were guaranteed guaranteed a paycheck and guaranteed to keep your job. It used to be that way. So stepping out on our own and things like that sometimes is really hard to accept that we're always looking to other people to provide our paycheck to us. And when you step out on faith for God to provide it, now we know in our heart and mind that he will provide it. But I don't know about anybody else. I sometimes question, I'm like, am I hearing you right? Am I taking the right path? Or because I still go back to that dream where I was standing it was dark outside and I was on a street corner or stay in the middle of the road of 4 corners that were well lit. And Jason's like, let me out and says, go to work. And I'm like, where? Which way? No, I don't. Which way? He's like, you'll know. I'm like, no, I don't. I've never been here before. I don't know. And then I woke up.
I haven't dropped her off anywhere like that yet, but I could somewhere and say, hey, dreams come true.
Stop.
And then I'll be buried in the Mississippi River. So if I don't show up one day, you'll know what happened. I dropped her off somewhere.
Oh my goodness. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Now you just on video, so congratulations.
Wow, yeah, exactly. Man. God forbid anything happens. be
Yeah.
like, dude, I don't know if I believe you or not. You said it on camera.
You funny.
They look at me funny all the time. Have you seen this grill?
Oh my
They
goodness.
look at me funny all the time. I'm used to it. Anyways.
But okay. Squirrel.
Oh my gosh.
DJ Squirrely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's, I mean, definitely I think that's a great, a great topic that more people need to be having that conversation with themselves. Are you somewhere, even if it's a relationship? And I don't mean to open up no can of worms for anybody, but if with me saying that is opening up can of worms for you, then you should have been questioning that relationship before me saying that.
Yeah.
But even with relationships, your job, where you live, what you're doing with your kids, different stuff like that. If if you're feeling a way that God is telling you you need to move on, then maybe you need to take heed, to that and actually move on and actually, hey, think about what he's doing, think about what he's saying to you, and actually show the faith and move on and walk out on faith. That's what blind faith is. A mustard seed. Faith as small as a mustard seed. So definitely. Is there anyone that wants to actually join in and jump in on this topic? Because I think a lot of people can talk about this topic as well, because there is so on point. And what did you do? Did you actually listen to God, or did you prolong and you went through your own trials and tribulations because you prolonged? So
I know. Yeah, I know those. Yeah.
Because I think
yeah.
Well, somebody just asked, can they join?
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, or Drew. I call him Silky. There's a story behind that, and it's not very. Hey.
Yeah.
We don't divulge that.
I mean, because I had that situation with a job and that situation with a relationship. So when you're not obedient, it makes you feel like you're getting drugged through the mud, but it's your fault. It's like, oh man, I should get somebody to do a picture of that. It's like you dragging you through the mud and God standing there saying, I told you so, because it's like, that's exactly how it feels sometimes. You dragging you through the mud. And it's like, man, it's not a good feeling at all.
Yeah, Andrew, I sent you the message there. So he will be joining.
All right. That's outstanding. Anybody want to join in? That's fine. Be respectful, of course. Don't jump on here and start being all crazy, because you will get the click. So let me stop.
I think he'll be good.
I got that quick trigger finger.
I worked with him at the casino, so I mean, we'll leave that at that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean a whole lot. Some people take jobs there that think they can help change people.
Yeah. Let's see if he joins. Do you want to go to a video real quick while he gets set up to join you? Oh, there he is. He's there. We'll join in.
That was fast.
Man, he quick.
Yeah, big old smile on his face. I'm kind of scared.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna join him in. Here we go.
Oh, we got it. Okay.
There we go. We got you.
I'm here.
Welcome.
All right.
So
welcome.
so I missed the first half of this, but I've known Jason for a while.
See ya. That's it. You missed it. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, but I've known Jason for a while, and I mean, I've come to terms with something recently, and I wanted to reach out to you, Jason. Kind of like, I've had this turning point recently.
Okay.
So I don't even know how where to start, but I'm gonna just kind of jump in the middle, and we'll go back and forth between everything. But I was thinking the other day, it had hit me because I'm a huge wrestling fan. Huge. I love it. And so I was trying to get my friends to go wrestling with me. And I was like, you know what? To you, it's fake, but if you got to go in with this open mindset and you got to believe in it for it to exist. And when that hit me, I was watching something on TV and these people were in church and they were crying. And I'm like, man, that don't make sense to me.
Mhm.
But then when I put it to like the wrestling idea, I was just like, that's what I got to do. It's because, you know, I got to go in with that open mindset, believing like I do with the wrestling.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like, it started to make sense now.
Oh, awesome.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm there, but I'm heading in that same direction, man. I mean, so.
Yeah. And, hey, it's like he was saying earlier, the mustard seed. You got it. And just figuring it out. You know,
Right.
Because when I knew you, I had no idea at that point that I was in the faith at all. I mean, it didn't exist yet.
Right. I mean, I've always been the farthest from it.
Some of the conversations we had, yes, I can say that.
I've you know, it's never really made sense to me, but like as I've gotten older and as I go through life, I'm just like, I'm doing all these things, and I tell my wife, I say, you know, whatever's meant to be will always happen. But I've never like associated with like the faith and religion. And now like I said, I had that moment of like the way I perceive like the wrestling events with that, and I'm just like, oh, it's all making sense now. Like it's all
awesome.
It's all the circle's connecting.
See, that's kind of funny, and God bless you, brother. Definitely for being open enough to, you know, to have that mindset and allow God to, you know, work into you to put those two together. Now, once you started really equating those two together, what type of feeling did you start having? Like, was it like an aha moment that you was like, oh, that's what's been going on all this time, you know?
I wouldn't say it was like an aha moment. It's more of just like I need to explore on this a little bit further. You know, like the door has opened, and now I'm kind of like I want to peek my head and I want to look around. I want to see what's going on. It's interesting me more now.
Awesome. I'm always available, as you know.
I know that. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're so far away now, though. I didn't know that. I didn't know that aspect.
Not really. I mean, you're in Quad Cities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in Burlington right now.
Oh, see, well then, perfect.
I mean, we have a house in Galesburg. I mean, yeah, you're in the Quad Cities. That's nothing.
But I mean, and then between that and so I had that moment, and last November, our water heater broke down, and I had a lady I worked with reach out to me. She said, "Hey, here's the money to go fix it," and she's very into the faith, religious. And then just a couple weeks ago, last week, she messaged me and she's like, you know what? I believe in God and so much and everything. And she's just like, I'm erasing your debt to me, pass it on, move in the faith, try it out. And like, it's just like all at one time.
Yeah. And I mean, that's great that people have that view. We have that view. Just someone says to give, and it sounds weird when you're at the point that you're at. And I've been there, and you hear it, and you're like, "You want me to do what? What? No,
right?" And it's something that I do. I mean, I try to pass it on through the card shows, but I've never like associated it with like faith or anything. It's just something I do where when I host my shows, we've always given to charity and always do these donations. And now, you know, people are just like, hey, like, you know, it's like all these pieces and they're all just starting to connect now.
Yeah. It took me a while to get there.
Right. So I just wanted to come on and be like, yo, Jason, I'm seeing where you're coming from now. I'm getting it.
It's awesome. I appreciate you, like I said, stepping out and saying that and being transparent. It's not easy to, to put that out there. And as one guy works with at Walmart, same thing. I mean, he was far from the faith, and he's now getting into it. I'm just a vessel. We're just vessels. Like I said,
right.
Co-worker, that's what she's doing. It may take many to get you. It took a lot to get me. I mean, I was dragged many a times before I got to where I was at. It took me down to Texas to get there.
Oh, wow.
So
of all places, I don't know if you heard the story. Humble, Texas. HUMBLE.
Humble, Texas.
Humble, Texas. And I always told the story, when I come to God, you'll know. There's the sky will open. There'll be thunder and lightning. You will know when this Jew comes to God.
Right?
No. And we were down there, and the thunderstorms were like no other down there. I mean, the sky lit up. There was thunder and lightning. It poured. And I'm like, okay, there's the sun. I mean, I'm showing up. You know?
Right?
So, I mean, you'll know. But it took me all to lose everything to get to the point of to get there. You know, and I don't wish it upon anybody. And I'm glad to see that you know, you're successful. You know. Now, you're a substitute teacher, correct?
I'm a teacher's aide.
Teacher's aide.
Yes,
I
it's
see the
taken me.
conversations with the kids.
I'm a teacher's aide for the kindergarten, first grade special ed.
Yeah, okay.
I've been with the special ed and the school district as a whole for 7 years.
Awesome.
I mean, it took me many years just to get to that point because I had been through every job and I was just not happy in any of them. And, you know, I was always kind of like, is there something wrong with me? Like I would always sit there with the wife, like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not getting this? Why can't I just be happy and go to work like everybody else does?
Mm-hmm.
And it took until I got this job to where I was just like, yo, this is what I like. This is where I'm at. So, but it was just, yeah, it was a lot of time. And I mean, now, like I said, looking back, you're like, it was him. It was him figuring it out for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And then our passing, you know, in a little bit of time there.
Yeah, I mean, and I remember all those moments with you at the casino, standing there having our conversations. I mean,
but I wasn't in the faith yet. I was tiptoeing my toes in there, but I was definitely not in the faith. Not till 14. No, but
yeah,
I was still there, but not there.
Right.
You know, so and it took 3 years to get there. So there's not a real rush in it. No.
Right.
I mean, you can have it, cool, but yeah. So everybody said you put the pieces together, and then they start coming together. You're like, oh, I see what you did there.
You're right. Yeah. It's kind of like, oh man, how did I miss it?
Yeah. So, is your wife in the faith at all? Or you were close?
She's more than I am.
Okay.
I mean, and it's crazy because I went to Catholic school, 6th grade through high school. I went to Catholic school. She sent our oldest daughter to Catholic school, you know, and she was coming home talking about Jesus, and I'm like, I don't know, like, you know, like at that time I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. And so, you know, the babies, she's praying because that's what she's learning at school. So, I mean, I think, you know, everything just kind of is starting to mix together and it's just kind of pulling me back in.
That's awesome.
But
do you have my phone number?
I did have your phone number.
It's changed. Yeah. I'll send that to you if you ever
want.
Yeah,
send me a message. I mean,
yeah, I'll send that, you know, so if you ever need to talk or ask questions. I'm still no expert.
No, I mean,
you know more than I do. But yeah, if you ever need a call or text or whatever, and I might have an answer. I don't know. It's a legitimate.
Definitely. I mean, and the crazy thing is, I mean, and now I'm also starting to realize, like, you know, everybody makes it seem like you got to go through life almost alone, and you got to get to where you want to be alone. I'm just like, there's actually no problem reaching out for help. There's no problem, you know, working with people to get to where you need to be. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I reach out to people more now, just of like, I'm having a bad day than I used to, just because it's slowly changing, you know, just like there's no point.
Yeah, that's awesome. Glad to hear it. I said thank you again for just reaching out to her.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. If it wasn't you, if this wasn't Quake Radio and everything that you do, and I know, and since I know you, I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But since I know you, I was just like, yo, I wanna tell my friend, like, yo, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm coming to. You know, so sharing it out there.
Love that.
Nice to meet you too, sir. Sorry, my name's Andrew.
All right, you as well, man. You as well.
Orlando over there, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, I just kind of came in and just started talking. I didn't want to forget it, you know. So
It's all good, man. It's a beautiful moment. It's all good.
It fits into our new show that we're looking to do on Tuesday morning. It's called Testimony Tuesday.
oh, well, there you see, I'm just on the wrong day. I'm a few days early.
If you're available at 6 a.m.,
I mean, if you want me there, I can be. I'm off for the summer, you know. So
you like to sleep.
I love that answer.
So sometimes, I mean, today I woke up early, but I sometimes I sleep in now.
Yeah.
But if you need me, I'm there. That's what I try to do. So
awesome, appreciate that. And as if you ever wanted, as I know you have the card show stuff,
yeah.
What about doing sponsor stuff or just
well,
what you can plug that now if you want to.
I'm sorry.
You can plug that now if you want.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't have anything for that. No, so we're looking into getting some sponsorship so that way I can afford to put it out there on like the radio and stuff like that. We have a few businesses we're talking to about it, so that way I can pay you because everything was coming out of the wife pocket. It wasn't even mine. I mean, people say because I do raffles. This last show. I did a free Pokemon giveaway for the kids. Only the kids can enter it. And people are like, how do you get the money for this? I go, well, I go to the bank and get a loan, and then I point to my wife. I'm like, that's, and then I got to pay her back after. But no. So oh gosh, I don't know if I have any of the flyers from this last one. We just updated our logo for the profile to the autism puzzle pieces. I said, you know what, since that's what I mainly deal with is a lot of kids with, disabilities. I'm like, autism. I love those kids. They brought me to where I am today. So let me show love back to them by making my logo a part of to represent them and help them stand out and, bring awareness to that. So
awesome. But
we're looking at October sometime. That's the best thing I got right now. I've got a few charities as far as maybe reaching out to the animal shelter, see if we can't get some dogs or pets adopted. Other than that, I'm trying to get people to bring canned goods for the homeless.
Okay.
So I think the last raffle, the last charity we did, we gave it back to the Moline School District Special Olympics team.
Okay.
Before that, I gave it back to the Focus Fundamentals building, who does stuff with the community. So I'm constantly trying to give back to people because I'm just like, it's I don't know. There's a lot of hate out there, and I don't like that. Yeah. I want to go back to actually being a community where you can go to the person next door, you can go to the person down the street and say, hey, can I borrow some sugar for my Kool-Aid? And them, and them not being scared to answer the door and them actually helping out. So.
Yeah. So, as if you ever need any musicians or artists for your events, we got connections in the area.
Well, I mean, I'm always
and they a lot of times a lot of them will just do love offering.
Okay.
So it's not like we come with our pocket too on a lot of this stuff too. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, no, I'm always looking to not only expand but make it different from each show. Mm-hmm. So that way it's not the same thing every time. It's not just cards, people come in and look at it because, a lot of people think, sports cards, it's just a bunch of 50-year-old fat guys sweating in a room. And I'm just like, hey, wait, it's more than that. It's more than that now.
You have air conditioning.
Yeah, we have air conditioning. We're not sweating anymore. No, I want it to be more. I tell people, I go, we're all older. Nobody's going to be here to take over if we don't let the kids come in and have fun and show them the way.
Yeah.
So
there's a artist by the name of Go Yee. You need to write his name down. That's Go Yee. He has a son. His kids, his twin son and daughter, has autism, and he just he's about to release a song towards that with parents with kids with autism, things of that nature. That's somebody that you should try to link up with and talk to about that and everything, because you two can work together great. He's in the DMV area, the Washington D.C., Maryland, Virginia area.
Oh, okay.
But he'll be more than willing to, talk to you and stuff and see what he can do to help out with what you're doing and everything. And I
Right.
messaged him to try to see if he can come on the show or whatever, but he may be, busy as last minute. But with you started talking about that, that reminded me he has a song that he's about to release and he should be sending it to us sometime tonight and everything. So
Awesome. Oh.
Okay.
So, well, if you have the summer off, when school doesn't start in August, right? You're not in school.
No, it does.
It does.
Yes. So we went until June 9th, and we got to start like August 16th or 20th or something like that, like right in the middle of August.
So the first week of August, you're still available.
Yes.
So we have a concert in Galesburg.
Okay.
So you can come and meet all three of us. There's, how many of us are here?
Three.
I can't count.
well, he already knows himself.
Well, we have DJ Penny. So yeah, that's four.
Well, there you go, all four.
See, all four.
Yeah. Send me the info. I mean,
Yeah, so come meet us all in person, get our autographs.
definitely. I
Wow.
mean,
Oh my goodness.
I'll try to do what I can. I mean,
Get Captain J's autograph. You don't need mine.
You've seen it enough. No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've got a piece of paper with what was it? The first and last name, and then like 16 digits. Man, I've got the whole autograph.
Yeah.
Well, also before he forgets, you can write down this website. Go to thespinawards.com/vote. And the station has been nominated for a couple of different nominations for best radio, online radio station, best, and your man Jason Katz has been nominated for best program director.
Whoa!
So, there you go, doing his thing. So it's a big award ceremony for gospel stations and different podcasts and radio shows and stuff. And it's an award ceremony for us. And we've been nominated, I think, in like 3 or 4 different categories. Jason will give you the information.
Yeah, I'll send you some stuff. Orlando's got like what 2 or 3, and then Amanda's got 1. So yeah, we're in there. We got like 5 different things.
Oh wow!
Who'd have thought that I'd be getting nominated for Christian radio station manager, program director, and we'd be doing a show here.
Right? I mean,
Shout out to Gina Livewire.
A lot has happened since then.
Yeah.
Gina
It's
Livewire has been voting like every day. So shout out to Gina Livewire definitely for sharing, showing us some love and support and voting for us.
You can vote.
Definitely.
You can vote more than once.
I think you can vote every day. Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. I'll go back. I thought you could vote once and be done. So remember that, Andrew, multiple times.
I mean, I barely remember what I'm doing now. The next 5 minutes.
Okay.
So
when I have your number, I'll text you every.
Yeah, do.
No, they'd be like, I'm done with this thing. I'm done. But yeah, appreciate you coming out. Tell the wife I said hi.
I will.
And the little ones.
Yes. Going to be 5 and 2 in September.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I think they've also like kind of helped put me in that direction where it's just like, wow, now it's not me just living for myself anymore. It's like I got to do it for them, and it's different. It's different. It's wild.
Yeah, they say a family that prays together stays together.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
and a real parent sees that though. A real parent sees the value in the children, especially if they don't feel they're on the right trajectory. You see that your kids are going to pull you in, not so much, even if not so much of you getting into the faith or things of that nature, but just cleaning up your life and doing better for your children because you know that they are the focal point now.
Right. Yeah. Because before, I mean, I could have cared less. And now I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do to help better their life, to make it easier for them? Because I know how hard it was for me. What can I leave behind for them to help them out, And so that's kind of, I mean, the whole card thing started as just a fun hobby. And I mean, it's growing. And I'm like, well, if I could turn this into something and just help make our lives easier to help them, like that's what I'm going to do.
For the
So
people that may have just tuned in and they don't exactly know exactly what you were talking about with the car thing, tell that again, and then also let them know how they can go about supporting you.
oh my gosh. So I do cards, sports cards, Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, everything. We do memorabilia. I host card shows mainly, but I do have I do have inventory that I go live with every once in a while. I was actually going to go live before you guys were live, and then I sat down to go live. I seen Jason. I'm like, I got to tell my man. I got to reach out. But I go live on Facebook at King Bernardo Cards. And I work with kids with disabilities, and so we've changed like our logo to represent them to help spread the awareness of kids with autism. So you will see the puzzle piece within the logo. I mean, the best way they can help is when it comes around. I'm always looking for volunteers for bake sales. I'm looking for people just to kind of come in, bring canned goods, support it, get more eyes on it, so that way it can get out there, and and I always try to do a different charity each time, so that way everybody kind of gets that love instead of just one specific group.
Do you have a website?
No, I mean, I am so new at this. Like, I just threw it up on Facebook and that's it. Like, I'm just.
Oh, so you have a Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, let the folks know your Facebook page, and then also definitely get with Jason so we can set up an interview and everything, and then let us know what we can say during our show, because we do a show every morning, Monday through Friday.
There it is. I don't know how well you can see that. Like, if I could flip my camera around here, I don't know how this works.
Yeah, just send Jason the information on there.
King Bernardo Cards, it's right there.
Okay.
No, it's not. There it is.
We got it.
King Bernardo Cards, it's on Facebook.
Okay.
We're looking at we're gonna grow, but it's one of those things that I never thought of making it something. It was just something we were doing for fun, and the way I did it has just continually attracted so many people that were just like, it's got to become a thing. Let's keep going, let's keep spreading the love for that we send out through the charities, and helping each other. There's a lot of shows out there, but people say that it's just a different atmosphere at mine. There's a difference. I try to treat everyone that comes through, like family, just like I would, if I meet you in person. I'm just like, it's almost like, I haven't seen you in a week, and I'm like, hey, what's up, buddy? So because I don't want people to walk into a room and be like, oh my God, I don't, they're not really welcome. They just see me as a dollar sign. No, I don't see that at all. I could care less about the money. I'm just in it for fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you've always had that. I mean, even when we worked together, you had that.
Yeah. I'm just here for fun. I mean,
you got a paycheck at the end, but I mean, it was enjoyable. Yeah. You had that personality.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. And that's another thing is, like, so many people have like told me about this, and I'm just like, no, yeah, like, yeah, you're just talking to talk, and I never really truly believed anything. But after time and so many people keep saying it, my wife's just like, no, you got to like open up and like allow these people to say these good things about you and truly believe that they mean it, and I'm just like, no, not me. And just so
sounds like you're playing in my backyard.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many things. I mean, it's so crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. But it's kind of a different life, and I always tell my wife, I always try to have an open mind and try to understand where everybody's coming from, but and it's all just kind of shifting and a light for the better here in the past couple of years than it has been in the past for me. So
yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. So I appreciate you coming out here and letting the whole world know, because there's 3 people that have watched. No, I was kidding. No. No, it goes across all kinds of all platforms and stuff, so it's out there.
That's crazy. I didn't realize how big it was until you had explained it to me like a month ago, or 2 months. I don't even know. Well, last time I contacted you, we briefly went over it.
Yeah, we were in North Carolina still. That's been
I didn't know that. I had seen it. I knew that you were part of it. I just didn't realize how big it was, and it's super awesome to see you doing the thing that you love and succeeding where you want to be.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that's it. Orlando's one that brought us out of our shell to even do a live thing and do shows.
Really,
It's like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, I'm doing what? No. I'm a quiet guy in the background. That's why I'm a station.
See, personally, I love being in front of a camera, so it don't bother me none. It's just I
haven't changed.
right.
Orlando's like, oh, what did I get into?
It's just a different topic now.
Yeah.
So,
but we're coming up on our hour, so.
I should probably get going. I gotta go check on the girls. I gotta get to my Facebook Live.
I might comment in, but I won't know if I join in. We got some.
No, it's all right. I totally get it. I don't even know. I'm just gonna kind of go and just talk, like I do, and then like I said, I'm gonna take care of the girls, and we're gonna go from there.
Awesome. Thank you again. And I said it's weird to see some of the people that I've in the past how they've moved, and then how God's worked through I would say someone like me. So they say he's going to work through someone like you as well.
Right.
Has been.
You already have.
And it's cool to see that, and it's like you don't understand, you don't realize why you go through the things you go through, which we were just talking about earlier, why we went through it. And then you see where you get to from there, and you see the seeds that are planted and stuff.
Right.
But Orlando,
No, I was just going to say, and all of that basically really piggybacks on what we were discussing earlier about you saying, you don't know what you're doing. You've been out of work for a while and things of that nature or whatever. And like I keep telling you, every time I talk to you, I keep telling you, dude, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. With the meetings, with the ministry, setting up, the extreme tour stuff, just talking to people, meeting with different people. This is exactly where God wants you. So until he wants you somewhere else, he'll move you to where he wants you. You just wake up every day and be prepared, get yourself ready and say, God, where do you need me today? Who needs to hear from you through me today? Yeah. And that's exactly what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Don't second guess.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about. Like, he put us together all those years ago just for us to end up right here talking about this. Like, would have never guessed it all them years ago.
No. And that's how and they keep telling me that, you know what you're supposed to do. I'm like, no.
No, I don't. I just keep going, and it just.
I'm just as lost as you are on. Like, what do I do now? I don't know. I'm still the same place, so it's not all figured out in that aspect.
But that's all part of life. That's all a part of his plan, right?
Right.
So, but we will let you go. Take care of the girls.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you, Orlando.
You too, bro.
Nice seeing you, Judy and Jason. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah,
hope
take
you
care.
hear some great stuff about you, man. So
thank you.
That was
that's outstanding. And like I said, I really believe that that answers a lot of questions. That should answer a lot of questions on, where you should be right now and what you should be doing right now. You're doing it, bro. You're doing it. We just got to second guess where God has us in our lives. And I know I do that plenty of times, enough for everybody. So you stop it. I do it enough.
Yeah. It's just weird. I said, you don't realize, Yeah.
And like you said, you weren't even all the way in the faith yet, but God was still using you.
Yeah. I was listening to Christian music, but that was about it. But yeah, it's cool to see. It's cool to see that. Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
So sorry, I went over.
Sometimes- Oh, man, you know, come on now, please. How many times we've gone over by an hour before, by 12 hours.
No, that was April 1st.
That was
And yeah, we need to start getting ready to start talk about that again too. So
Oh man.
yeah, start
Okay,
talking
I'm gonna go to bed.
start talking about that 12-hour joint again. So, but ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is the Real Gospel Talk with Quake RYC Praise News, where music is therapy. We've had a great time tonight. Hey, we did not know that the young man Andrew, who used to work with Captain J, was going to call in tonight and basically, you know, just testify on where he was right now and how he equated wrestling and the faith. You know, basically like saying, hey, I need to give this a try. If I'm telling my friends to give wrestling a try, then it's the same thing on what people used to tell me about Christ. I need to give that a try. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's definitely a beautiful thing.
I was just a little speechless still. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you never know when you start sprinkling that water, you never know, you know, how it's going to bloom, how it's going to turn out. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Having known, you know, just in general, like I said, I wasn't even in the faith yet, but you know, people there thought I was because I was the clean person, if that makes sense. You know, but they say he said he'll use. You don't have to be in the faith to completely be used, because he already knows that where he's going to take you. Yeah, I know. I'm speaking to myself again.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and end it off. We're gonna end the show off with the brand new video joint. That's what I was doing. I was loading up a video, but brand new video just dropped a couple of days ago is Rich by Indie Tribe. No Big Deal and John Keith. This joint is banging. We played it on the show a couple of nights ago. So here's the video. Y'all have a peaceful night, man. We will catch y'all next Saturday, same time. Let's go.
Hop out the coupe like they go again. Tribe on the move, but I stay in God's hand. I'ma tell the truth, I don't never have plans. I just wing it like Goose, man, that's why I never land. Okay, pop up in your city, tell your friends. Girl, you ain't my wife, you gon' pay to get in. I just got a doctor, now my bro, the son of man. God did a lot, I'm just doing what I want. Hey, Pop said he proud of me. What else? Forever young, I'm a prodigy. Hey, Don John, yeah, I gotta be. Cutting heads off of snakes like the Odyssey. Y'all just lying, I'm Daniel. I said, bite all that bull, please don't try. I'm a handful, who's that? Try, don't get trampled. Hey kid, look what Yahweh did. Talk to me like I'm rich, like I'm rich. I ain't gotta ice my wrist. Living water, that's my drip. Homie, please don't slip. Told devil we ain't friends. Stop trying to talk to the kid. Talk to the kid. Switch up, that don't make sense. But maybe that's cause I'm rich. Baby, I'm.
Hey, God sent me this pack. Can I get hotter if we made the track with Sodom in the back? If it didn't come from the tribe, well then it's probably gonna be whack. I know he proud of me, I mean I'm in the bottom of my bag. I need apologies from principalities and powers haunting me. Say sorry. Obey and praise the Prince of Peace, my only policy. It's true. Better read the pedigree, you gon' acknowledge me. I'm all of the above, a priest, a poem, and it's pottery. Honestly, I've been struggling to rest. See the worst instead of best. Lead a peace and chase the stress, but he gon' be my safety net. I can't stay in Saint's nest. Yahweh gave me lacy, then he graced me with a racing debt. I was waiting patiently for feelings in my faith to connect. Praying in my closet till my Asics were wet. Yahweh made the payment and there ain't nothing left. When you chasing after freedom, you ain't chasing a check.
Hey kid, look what Yahweh did. Talk to me like I'm rich, like I'm rich. I ain't gotta ice my wrist. Living water, that's my drip. Homie, please don't slip. Told devil we ain't friends. Stop trying to talk to the kid. Talk to the kid. Switch up, that don't make sense. But maybe that's cause I'm rich. Baby, I'm.
That's literally what rich means.